We often think of grains as nothing more than a side dish in a meal. A bowl of rice, some pasta, a few spoonfuls of oatmeal. Enough to feel full. Enough for a little energy, but definitely not something we think of when it comes to muscle strength. Especially after age 60, when each step starts to slow down, when your calves aren't as firm as they once were, and when people say, if you want to get stronger, drink protein shakes, eat more meat, take collagen. But no one ever mentions grains. And this is what I, as a doctor who's tracked muscle health in older adults for over 30 years, want you to hear very clearly. There are certain grains that aren't just carbs. They are anti-inflammatory fighters, muscle builders, joint stabilizers, and even help improve circulation to aging, weakened muscle fibers. The problem, we tend to lump all grains together as just carbs. And carbs are often treated with suspicion, cut down, labeled as blood sugar boosters or belly fat makers, and not good for older people. But not all grains are created equal, and today I'm going to prove it. I'll walk you through 3 muscle grains that may sound unfamiliar now, but once you understand them, you'll see that just 1 spoonful added to breakfast could be a major step forward in your journey to regain strength. Before we begin, tell me in the comments, have you ever thought about using grains to help build muscle after 60? Type yes if you've heard of it. Type no if you've always thought grains were just carbs. I read every single comment and will go forward with you, not with theories, but with truth, experience and strategy. Let's start with a small but powerful grain that you may have overlooked for years. Number 3. Amaranth. An ancient grain. Modern muscle recovery. Nutrition. If you've never heard of amaranth, you're not alone. It's not a grain you'll often find in major grocery stores or standard breakfast menus, but it's that very quiet presence that makes amaranth so easy to overlook, when in fact, it's one of the most underrated sources of muscle-restoring nutrition for people over 60. First, let's address a very real barrier that many people have. You might look at amaranth, tiny like sand, no scent, no color, and think, how can something that small build muscle? Or worse, you might confuse it with starch-heavy grains like white rice or instant cereal. But this is exactly where amaranth stands apart. It's not empty white carbs. In fact, every 100-gram cooked serving of amaranth provides up to 9 grams of complete protein, more than brown rice, oats, or wheat. And it's not just the quantity. The quality of its protein is exceptional. It contains all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to repair muscle tissue. What makes amaranth a true muscle warrior for older adults is its high lysine content, a rare amino acid in most grains. Lysine plays a crucial role in collagen production, healing inflamed muscle tissue, and improving calcium absorption into muscles. In other words, it helps muscles grow stronger, bones stay denser, and soft tissues around joints recover, all critical after age 60. That's not all. Amaranth also delivers a full range of companion nutrients for muscle recovery, like iron, phosphorus, zinc, and magnesium. Just 1 cooked cup provides nearly 30% of your daily magnesium, needs a mineral essential for muscle contraction, steady heart rhythm, and better nerve reflexes. Magnesium isn't just a sleep aid. It's a recovery brick that helps you walk steadily and stand up without trembling. And on the anti-inflammatory front, amaranth holds its own. It contains phenolic acids, compounds that reduce oxidative stress in muscle tissue after movement or injury. This is often overlooked, but extremely important for seniors, because one of the key reasons older adults lose muscle fast is the sharp drop in post-inflammation recovery. Thanks to its unique mix of antioxidants and high-quality protein, amaranth addresses this exact weakness quietly but effectively. Now you might be wondering, how do I cook it? Good news, amaranth is very easy to use. When cooked, it has a creamy, porridge-like texture, slightly thick and soft. You can swap it in for oatmeal in the morning, cook it with nut milk or bone broth, and add flaxseed, cinnamon and soft fruits. Or cook it and let it cool, then toss it into salads like quinoa, combine with roasted vegetables, chickpeas and olive oil for a meal that's light on the stomach, but packed with nutrition for post-walk muscle repair. Here's another reason I recommend amaranth to older patients: it's gluten-free. For those with sensitive digestion or following an anti-inflammatory diet, it's a perfect substitute for pasta or standard bread. And if you're pre-diabetic or insulin-resistant, amaranth has a lower glycemic index than white rice, helping keep your energy steady without blood sugar spikes after meals. In short, take another look at this tiny grain that's so easy to forget, because inside it lies everything you need to quietly fight off sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. Complete protein, rare lysine recovery-friendly magnesium, inflammation-fighting antioxidants, and no gluten. Amaranth might not be on every supermarket shelf, but sometimes it's the underrated foods not hyped by marketing that become your most reliable allies for long-term strength. And if you've ever thought grains were just carbs, I hope amaranth makes you think again, because sometimes the smallest grains build the strongest muscles. If you found that interesting, stay with me. The next two grains are not only more familiar, but they might just make you look at your plate in a whole new way. Number 2. Buckwheat. Not wheat. Not a trend. A vascular supergrain for aging legs. When some people hear the word buckwheat, they immediately think, I can't eat that, I'm avoiding gluten. But here's the surprise: buckwheat isn't wheat at all. It's a pseudo-grain, naturally gluten-free, and one of the most muscle and circulation-supporting foods for older adults, especially those struggling with leg fatigue, cold feet, or cramping after walking. What makes buckwheat so powerful is its unique combination of plant-based protein, magnesium, and a rare flavonoid called rutin, a compound that directly strengthens capillaries and improves blood flow to muscle tissue. Let's take a step back. One of the biggest challenges for muscle repair after 60 isn't just protein, it's circulation. If your tiny blood vessels, especially in the legs, are weak or inflamed, they can't deliver enough oxygen and nutrients to your muscle cells. And without that delivery, recovery slows down, muscles weaken, and just walking can feel exhausting. Buckwheat addresses this at the root. Its rutin content improves vascular elasticity, strengthens vein walls, and reduces inflammation in small blood vessels. Studies from Eastern Europe, where buckwheat is a staple, show that regular consumption helps older adults improve leg circulation, reduce swelling, and even support varicose vein repair. That's why many older patients who add buckwheat to breakfast or lunch tell me, "My legs feel warmer. I walk longer without pain. My feet don't feel as heavy anymore." It's not placebo, it's improved blood flow, quietly nourishing the deepest parts of your muscle structure. Now let's talk protein. Buckwheat provides about 6 grams of protein per cooked cup, not as high as amaranth, but still valuable, especially because it includes all 9 essential amino acids. It also contains high levels of manganese, copper, and magnesium, critical cofactors in energy production and nerve signaling. And here's a bonus: buckwheat is rich in resistant starch, a type of carbohydrate that feeds your gut bacteria and helps regulate blood sugar. For older adults managing insulin resistance, prediabetes, or poor digestion, this is a gentle healing carb, not a blood sugar bomb. So how can you use buckwheat? The easiest way is to cook buckwheat groats. These are small triangle-shaped grains that cook like rice or quinoa. Simmer 1 part buckwheat to 2 parts water or bone broth for about 15 to 20 minutes. It fluffs up like rice, but with a nutty, toasty aroma. Add it to savory bowls with sautéed greens and eggs, or blend it into veggie patties for a plant protein-rich meal. If you prefer porridge, cook it in oat milk, sprinkle in cinnamon and chia seeds and top with blueberries. You'll have a heart-healthy, muscle-friendly, anti-inflammatory breakfast all in one bowl. And if you like variety, buckwheat flour is another option. Use it to make pancakes, crepes or muffins that are naturally gluten-free but packed with antioxidants and muscle-rebuilding nutrients. I always remind my patients, it's not about eating more, it's about eating smarter. And a small daily portion of buckwheat, half a cup to 1 cup, might be all it takes to wake up tired legs and keep circulation flowing where it's needed most. Buckwheat may not be trendy like quinoa, but for people over 60 who want to move freely, walk steadily, and reduce vascular inflammation without harsh supplements, buckwheat is one of the best-kept secrets in the longevity world. And now let's move to the final grain, one that you've probably heard of before but maybe never truly understood just how complete and powerful it can be for rebuilding strength after 60. Are you ready? Number 1. Quinoa. The complete plant protein that works like a muscle supplement. It's been called a super grain by the media. It's shown up on menus at healthy cafes and organic food aisles for over a decade. But despite the buzz, many older adults still see quinoa as a trendy food for young people. I've had patients say, it's hard to cook, or it's not filling, or I tried it once and didn't like the texture. But let me tell you this, when it comes to protecting aging muscles, quinoa isn't just a health trend. It's one of the most nutritionally complete plant-based foods you can eat. And more importantly, it's uniquely suited for people over 60 who need gentle anti-inflammatory protein that doesn't tax the kidneys, clog the digestion, or require heavy chewing. Let's start with the basics. Quinoa provides around 8 grams of protein per cooked cup. But unlike most grains, it's a complete protein, meaning it includes all 9 essential amino acids in the right ratios. This matters deeply for muscle repair, especially when appetite drops or digestion weakens with age. Quinoa is also rich in branched-chain amino acids, BCAAs, especially leucine and isoleucine, which directly activate mTOR, the pathway your body uses to build new muscle tissue. In older adults, this pathway becomes less sensitive. That's why, even with enough protein, you may not see results unless you consume the right triggers, like leucine. Quinoa delivers that naturally. But what makes quinoa even more special is its anti-inflammatory and mineral profile. It's loaded with magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, and folate, all essential for cellular repair, energy metabolism, and tissue regeneration. Unlike many plant foods, quinoa also contains bioactive compounds like quercetin and kaempferol, which help reduce inflammation in muscle tissue after physical stress. In a study from the University of São Paulo, older adults who added quinoa to their daily diet showed measurable improvement in muscle strength and recovery after just 6 weeks without changing their physical activity. Researchers believe this is due to quinoa's combined effects on nutrient absorption, mitochondrial function, and anti-inflammatory support. And here's something else my patients love: quinoa is incredibly easy to prepare once you learn a few tricks. Rinse it well before cooking to remove bitterness. Then use a 2:1 water to quinoa ratio. Bring to a boil, reduce heat, and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. The result: a fluffy, slightly nutty grain that pairs beautifully with vegetables, herbs, eggs, chicken, or legumes. You can eat it warm or cold, turn it into salads, stir it into soups, or make quinoa porridge in the morning with almond milk, cinnamon, and berries. It's one of the most versatile, muscle-friendly foods, and it never feels heavy or greasy. So if you're looking for a grain that nourishes muscle, supports blood sugar balance, improves digestion, and fights inflammation all at once, Quinoa may just be the one choice a day that makes a real difference over the long term. We've just explored 3 powerful grains, each with their own strengths for supporting muscle recovery after 60. Amaranth, tiny, dense, and packed with rare amino acids. Buckwheat, circulation boosting and vascular friendly. Quinoa, complete anti-inflammatory and muscle repairing. Together, they form a quiet but effective foundation to protect and rebuild what's been slowly slipping away: your strength, your balance, your independence. But before you head to the kitchen or the grocery store, I want to leave you with 3 important reminders, because as always, food is powerful, but it must be used wisely. First, if you're dealing with kidney disease or are on a protein-restricted diet, talk to your doctor before adding high-protein grains like quinoa or amaranth in large amounts. Even good protein needs to be tailored to your body. Second, if you're sensitive to fiber or have a history of bloating, start small, 1 or 2 tablespoons a day, and increase gradually. These grains are healing, but they're also dense in fiber and may cause temporary discomfort if introduced too fast. Third, always rinse quinoa and amaranth before cooking to remove saponins, natural plant compounds that can taste bitter or irritate digestion in some people. And most importantly, be patient. You don't have to change everything overnight. But if you consistently add just 1 of these grains to your day, your muscles will notice, your legs will feel steadier, your recovery time will shorten, and maybe, just maybe, you'll feel that quiet, growing sense that strength is returning from the inside out. If today's video helped you see food differently, hit the like button and consider subscribing. This channel is here for you every week, bringing you real, practical, science-based tips to stay strong, independent, and vibrant after 60. And if any part of today's video spoke to you, let me know in the comments below. What grain will you try first? What part of your body needs the most support right now? I'll be reading and cheering for you every step of the way.